What's up, guys? This is Ed here once again on the Blood Type Online YouTube channel, and this is another edition of Best of the Box. Now, we're going to do something totally different here for this segment in this episode, and what that is, when I do Best of the Box, we basically take a look at a box set, something usually a little bit different or something that I think's cool, and we've done that plenty of times on this show. So I wanted to do this one kind of separate from that, in that in this episode we're going to take a look at something that DVD collectors have kind of managed to find over the years, and by that I mean there's a company out there called Mill Creek Entertainment, and if you're not familiar with them, let me just get you to the score here real quick. It's a company that owns a lot of public domain movies, and I believe they actually do have the rights to some of these movies on their own. But they put out these budget sets, and a lot of them are really cool, and they have some stuff that's the only way you can get them on DVD, even though a lot of them are just crappy VHS transfers. And they've put out some really cool stuff over the years, and this isn't all of the Mill Creek stuff that I have, but it's a bunch of different stuff, and I just want to give you guys a look at some of it just in case you've never seen it, and hopefully you can find out about Mill Creek Entertainment and pick up some of their stuff, because this is a way to add hundreds of movies to your collection at ridiculously low prices, and there's a good reason for that in a lot of cases, but bear with me. So first up, I actually got this one. This one, I'm pretty sure you could still get this one at Walmarts everywhere, and I think I've even seen it at Targets before. This is the Gorehouse Greats collection. I got this for $5 at Walmart, okay? It has 12 movies, okay? Just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like here. Okay? But I'll read the titles off to you, okay? There's Blood of Dracula's Castle from 1969. The 1970 piece of garbage Blood Mania is on here. A movie from 1991 that I haven't been brave enough to watch yet. It's called Brain Twisters. The Devil's Hand from 1962, which actually is a pretty cool movie. The Madman of Mondorus, aka They Saved Hitler's Brain, which is one of the most famous and kind of crappy exploitation movies ever made. Nightmare in Wax, which has Cameron Mitchell, which is pretty cool. It's a movie from 1969. It also has Primeval, which is a Roberta Findlay movie. If you guys aren't familiar with her, maybe you're familiar with the movie Snuff, which they were involved with, her and her husband Michael Findlay. And also she directed Tenement Game of Survival, which is a badass movie. Highly recommend that if you guys haven't seen it. Also, there's Satan's Slave from 1976. A really super underrated and cool movie. It's from 1972. It's from a director named Bill Grafé, who's a really nice guy. I actually had the chance to meet him a few years back at Cinema Wasteland. But his movie Stanley is on here, and it's a super cool movie. I like it a lot. It's about a guy, a Vietnam veteran, who's kind of friends with snakes, and specifically one named Stanley. Another movie is on here from 1963 called Terrified, from 1978 called The Terror, and also the sleazy movie from 1975 with Zalman King, Trip with the Teacher. So, and I got this for $5, so you can't beat that. But just to give you another quick rundown, this is their Gore and More collection. This has Peter Jackson's Bad Taste on it, The Bloody Brood, Drive-In Massacre, Don't Look in the Basement, Abel Ferrara's Driller Killer, Night Train to Terror, which is one of the most bizarrely awesome movies ever made, a movie called The Fix, Scream Bloody Murder, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, and The Werewolf versus Vampire Woman with Paul Naschy. So, and same thing, you get these for super cheap. So there's that one. This is the 20 movie pack. This one, I think, this runs for about $10. This is really cool, and I'll tell you why in 1 second here. I just want to give you guys a quick look at it. But here's some of the titles on here, and I'll tell you why it's cool. Just listen to the titles. Blood of the Dragon, Blood Fight, Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave, Champ Against Champ, Clones of Bruce Lee, Crippled Masters, which is one of the coolest exploitation kung fu movies ever made, with a bunch of legit crippled people. Deadly Kick, Dragon Lee versus the Five Brothers, Fighting Ace, The Fighting Fists of Shanghai Joe, Fists of Bruce Lee, Image of Bruce Lee, Kung Fu, The Invisible Fist, Kung Fu Fever, LA Street Fighters, The Master, Rage of the Master, The Real Bruce Lee, Screaming Ninja, Snake Crane's Secret. The cool thing about this movie is you can get a bunch of the Bruceploitation movies, which, if you don't know what that is, basically after Bruce Lee he passed away, a bunch of movie companies were basically getting clones of Bruce Lee and marketing it as Bruce Lee. Generally, there's one guy that comes to mind named Bruce Lee, where his last name is spelled L-I. So there you go. But this is a really cool set. This is one called Tales of Blood. It's actually a 40 movie collection. All it really is they just took 2 of their 20 packs and put them on the inside of this. And this has been sitting on my shelf for so long, I don't know if I can get them out of here. Yeah, no problem. But just to give you guys an idea, there's 2 of their 20 packs right there. And you have stuff on these, I'm not going to read all of them, but Atom Age Vampire, you have The Devil Bat, House of the Dead, King of the Zombies, you have White Zombie, you have Revolt of the Zombies, Oasis of the Zombies, the original Silent Nosferatu, Night of the Living Dead, also Attack of the Monsters, you have Dementia 13, House on Haunted Hill, They Came from Beyond Space, The Terror with Jack Nicholson, Maniac from 1934. So there's a lot of cool stuff on here. Not all of these movies are great, but like I said, this is probably a pretty cheap set. I would imagine it might be $20 at the most, if it's even still in print. But yeah, and you could, it's 40 movies you add to your collection like that. Here's another one just to show you guys. I want to show you how they do their different packaging and whatnot. This is a 100 movie pack here that they have. It's called the Tales of Horror collection. This is actually 24 double-sided DVDs. And just to give you guys an idea of how ridiculous a set like this is, here's a list of all the movies that are in here. And you're bound to find some cool stuff when you have a collection of 100 movies. And, I mean, this is just a way to add a quick 100 movies to your collection. I mean, just to give you an idea of some of the movies in this one, Devil Times 5 is actually in here, which is like an evil kid movie. Dario Argento's Deep Red, even though it's a somewhat censored version of it. Driller Killer shows up in here again, so does Drive-In Massacre. Bad Taste from Peter Jackson's in here. Also stuff like Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter. You also have Messiah of Evil, which is a really cool movie, and I believe as of right now that's the only way you can get that movie on DVD. Also, there's The Phantom of 42nd Street, Shock with Vincent Price, Silent Night, Bloody Night, Sisters of Death, Snow Beast, which is actually a pretty underrated flick, Track of the Moon Beast, which is a horrible film that John Schatzer from Gut Munchers actually really likes. So if you ever see John at any conventions or anything, definitely tell him how bad that movie is, because it's awful. Also, The Devil's Hand shows up on here. But let's take a look at some of the packaging. It's kind of funny. Opens up like this with some Velcro that they put on here. And it actually just, as you can see, folds open and they just pull out. And there's 24 of these in here. They give you a little synopsis, stuff like that. So, it's kind of cool. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick. And here is the most ridiculous one I have, okay? I'm a fan of spaghetti westerns, okay? I'm not real big on a lot of American westerns, but I love spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef and people like that. The Sergio Leone stuff's awesome. But Mill Creek actually had, I don't know if this is even in print anymore, so but if it's not, it's something I want to show people because it's awesome. But this is a Western collection, okay, that Mill Creek Entertainment put out. And it has 250 Westerns. I'll just show you guys the back of this. Look at that. That is insane. And I'm going to show you guys at how ridiculous this is on 60 double-sided, okay, discs. And I believe there's 2 movies maybe on each side. But I'm going to name, just to give you guys an idea of some of the stuff that's on here. I mean, You have movies with John Wayne, like Angel and the Bad Man. Not a big John Wayne guy. I know people look at me funny when I say that, but I'm really not. But there's some really weird 30s and 40s stuff on here. There's Death Rides Horse with Lee Van Cleef. There's Deadwood 76 with Arch Hall Jr. Dead or Alive with Tex Ritter. Some Roy Rogers stuff is on here. Just Mad Dog Morgan with Dennis Hopper is one of the movies in here too. Just tons of stuff, really. I mean, I could literally rattle off 250 movie titles to you, but I don't think I'm going to put you through that, guys. But this thing opens up, okay, and it's just this giant thing of like, okay, so you pull this thing out, right? And then you just have this wicked box, okay, of DVDs sitting inside of it that you open like a Rolodex of insanely ridiculous westerns. I mean, look at this thing. Stacked to the brim with, I mean, you could literally get this box and watch nothing but westerns until you die. And you will probably still have like 40 movies left to watch. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this because I think it's insane and it's awesome, especially if you're a fan of westerns. It's not all dressed up, it's not anything super pretty, but it's really cool, and it's a way to get a bunch of westerns for next to nothing. So, I mean, well, I won't say next to nothing because I mean you're gonna pay probably, I'd say at least $50 for this set if it's still in print. But there's just, I mean, it's loaded. There's tons of stuff on here, but that's basically what you get with Mill Creek Entertainment, and I just wanted to share that with people out there that might not be too familiar with the company, because I think they do a lot of cool stuff, and certainly, like I said, not the best quality as far as the transfers of the movies and stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun, especially if you come from an age where I remember watching like really shitty VHS transfers of stuff and stuff on old black and white TVs and shit like that. So it's still kind of fun to watch, and at the end of the day, even if the quality is not perfect, it still is the movie. So I just wanted to show you guys that. That's Mill Creek Entertainment is the company that puts these out. And just to give you guys an idea, I'm trying to see if there's any website or anything on here, even though I don't believe there is. Actually, there is. If you guys are interested in any of these sets or anything else that this company does, go to www.millcreekent.com. That's www.millcreekent.com, Mill Creek Entertainment. So check them out, and you know, if you're in the mood to pick up a huge, gigantic set of movies that you may never have seen, you could probably do it on the cheap, and you could probably pick it up from them. So, and also I know too, I don't know if they still do or not, but for some reason Kmart actually carries a lot of these. So you might want to go there if you have a cool Kmart in your local area. So I'm Ed. That's it for this edition of Best of the Box, the Mill Creek Entertainment Edition. So take care, guys. See you next time.